Hey everyone, Callie here with Callie Experiments. So by special request, I'm going to talk about Open Broadcaster Studio and how I use that for my recording and my filming. And I'm also being joined today, you can't see her, but Maggie's down here and she's keeping me company on the couch. So I'm going to talk about Open Broadcaster Studio and how I use that for my editing, and not my editing, but for recording and also for my live streaming. And I'm going to take you step by step through my process. So if this is something that you're interested in, this should be a very comprehensive tutorial. I'm not going to talk about all the steps and everything that I do. I am going to be more comprehensive about Open Broadcaster Studio. If you see something and I got blazed through it really quickly, write down in the comments below and let me know what you'd like for me to talk about, and maybe I can do a tutorial later on and go into detail about some of that later. Everything that I use is going to be down in the description. You can check out those links. While you're here, go ahead and hit the subscribe button on my channel if this is your first time, and hit that like button. The first thing you're going to do, if you haven't already, is you're going to go to obsproject.com. Come down here, click on Download OBS Studio. You'll click on that, and you're going to select the operating system that you want to download for. Okay, so now that you've downloaded and you have installed Open Broadcaster Studio, or as I like to call OBS for short, it's going to open up and the screen is going to look something like this. Now, I have already been using this for quite a while, so I have several scenes and I have sources within those scenes that I already have set up. Your scenes and sources are going to be completely empty. They're not going to have, actually I take that back. Under scenes you'll have, it's just called scene. I have since removed it, but that's just because I've, replaced it. But you will have one that says scene and it will not have any sources in it. Otherwise it'll be empty for you. I recommend the first thing that you do is come over here to the settings button. And go ahead, and as I go through this, feel free to pause the video and set up your settings accordingly. Now, general is pretty straightforward. I don't think you need to change anything on that. Over here in output mode, it's probably going to say simple, and if you want to go with that, that's fine. Basically, what you want is a nice balance of the game that you record with great quality, but you don't want the file so big that it just takes forever to upload on YouTube. You want it to be a good quality image, but at the same time, you want to keep your sanity. So I use 25 on the CRF. For recording, I use 0 for the keyframe. For the streaming, I use something else. We'll talk about that in a little bit. CPU usage, I go ahead and very fast. I have a pretty decent laptop. For profile, I choose high. And let's see, and up here, and again, this will not be grayed out if you're not recording, but that's the recording path. And I do have a particular path. Set it to whatever folder. So whenever it records, it's going to go to my video dump folder. I personally record on MP4. I am taking a risk when I do that. If something, electrical outage or something happens, then I'm going to lose that recording. I have seen in forums that they recommend using FLV. However, I have seen issues with using FLV in certain software that it may not like FLV to edit. And so MP4 is a little more guaranteed that no matter what software I use, I'm going to be able to edit that file the way that I want to edit it. That being said, times have changed in the last few years since I originally did that setting. So if FLV works for you, put it in the comments below, and maybe it's time for me to change my ways. However, MP4 is what I use, and it's been working for me for years. Audio. This is for your audio. Well, you can see right here. I like to use 48. It defaults to 41. However, I have different devices. Sometimes I use my phone. Sometimes I use my Blue Yeti. Sometimes I have various other devices that I use for recording sound. 48 is kind of the standard that I have selected to use, so that no matter what editing software I use or what device I'm using, I know that there's going to be a consistent flow. On advanced, these are the settings I have. Again, if you want to pause and you want to use these settings, you can go ahead and do that. Alright, so click on, if you want to, you can click on apply, you can click on OK, and your settings are ready to go. Now, over here, like I said, this is going to probably be empty for you. You may have one that says scene. Click on the plus, and then let's call this OBS tutorial. And it's just going to give you a nice black screen. Now I am in what's called studio mode. So if I were to click on studio mode, there you go. It just shows the one. And whatever edits you do over here, it's going to show up immediately. It's considered this. This is the preview. This is what's being recorded. It is the all of the above. So be aware that if you're using this, this is what everybody's going to see as you're doing it. Alternatively, you can use studio mode. So I'm going to choose my theme screen to be over here. This is the preview window. And this one, in this window over here, I can change this around. Now, of course, you're seeing it in OBS because you're looking at what I'm seeing. But if this were, you know, what you see over here on the right side, this is typically what people are going to see in your stream or in your recording. But over here on the left side, you can mess with this all you want to. People are not going to see it until you're ready to see it, for them to see it. And when that comes, you can click on transition. And now you're looking at my theme screen. I'm going to hit transition again. And now we're back. Welcome. This is Kelly with Kelly Experiments. So I'm going to click on OBS tutorial because that's the scene we just created. And it's a nice black screen over here in the preview window. So I'm going to come under sources, click on add. And I am going to add a nice little background. So I'm going to click on image. Click OK. And I'm going to click on browse, and you're going to go to the folder where you've got your images at. And I'm just going to choose this nice plain. It's got a little bit of a texture to it, but it's just a nice background. All right. So now, so let's say I want to do a gaming on here. Now, the gaming that I've select is over here. It's called Bloons Tower Defense 5. So I'm going to capture this window. So we're going to come over here to window capture. All right, we'll call it my game. All right, there it is. If you want to select another window, you could definitely do that. You have any number of windows you could look at. So we're going to select that one. Now, this is, I like this. This is a good start. However, this is more information than I think I want my viewers to see. Personally me, I only want them to see the game. So we're going to touch this up just a little bit. I'm going to click on my game right down here. You can also click on it here and right click. However, by clicking it down here, I'm absolutely assured that I'm getting exactly the one that I want. Click on that. I'm going to click on filters. I'm going to come over here, click this plus sign. And it's going to say crop pad. Click on that. I'm going to just go ahead and accept the name. Now you're going to see left, top, right, bottom. And what this is referring to is the number of pixels. So to number of pixels from the left, number of pixels from the top down, number of pixels from the right over, and number of pixels from the bottom up. So you're going to see this in action here. Now I love how they got this. So this is your preview window so you can see how things are going. And I'm just going to say 450. And remember, it's 450 from the left over. So 450 pixels. Let's try 465 maybe. That's really good. And let's see if 465 will also work for the right. That looks really good. From the top, let's try 120. That's a little bit much. Maybe 100. Yes, I like that. From the bottom, okay. Let's see. All right, so you play with the numbers a little bit. It doesn't have to be perfect. If you want to be spot on, go ahead, but just for the sake of time and sanity, we're going to just go with this. Click on play, and there you go. Now you got the window and exactly only what you want your users to see. Now, as you're playing, it is a lot of fun whenever you're playing for people to be able to see your face. A lot of people want to be able to see the face of the people playing. So let's go ahead and add. We're going to come here to the plus sign. We're going to add a camera. And we're going to click on video capture device. Click on that. I'm going to call it my camera. And no, you don't have to do all caps. I'm just doing that for the heck of it. And so I go ahead and click OK and set it up. All right, and then I can size this however I want to. So I'm just going to put that right there. All right. And so there you go. You're ready to go, and you can actually start recording from this point on if you wanted to. Now, let's say you don't want to just record, you want to live stream. All right, so that's getting in some different waters right there. So let's say you want to live stream. So let's go to your YouTube homepage. You're going to click on your profile image right there, Creator Studio. Click on live streaming. And there's your information. Now I recommend going through here, at the very least set up your basic info. So let's say you're going to do a gaming video. I do recommend setting this to public and then put the name of whatever the game is that you're playing here. Now down here under encoder setup, you've got this stream name key. Now I am not going to click reveal because I don't want anybody hijacking my my live stream. But what you would do is you would click reveal, and it's actually going to show some letters, numbers, symbols. You want to highlight that. You want to copy. Come back to OBS. Click on settings. Come back to stream. Go ahead and just leave it as primary, and then right here at stream key, you're going to want to paste that key that you just, the key that you just copied from your live stream page on YouTube. You're going to want to paste that right there. And then remember we talked about the output earlier. So now here is where you want to set that up. And really the big difference is this right here. You need to set that to 4. And you'll also notice, like over here, recording, I'm using very fast for my CPU usage. I have it set to faster, which is not as high. And the reason for that is whenever I'm recording, I want a high quality image so that my viewers can see a nice pretty image. However, when I'm streaming, the more intense that the image is, it's not going to be as good an experience for the people who are watching on the other side. Because if you're sending across more information, then that's going to be more to buffer, and then there's going to be lag, and they're going to have to wait for it, and you know, people get upset and they start leaving, and so it's just not as great an experience. So you do sacrifice quality, unfortunately. But by sacrificing quality just a little bit, you make that experience a little bit better for the user on the other end. And generally speaking, they understand. So, so you can use these settings. Now, if you decide to use your streaming settings and your recording settings, hey, I want to make them the same thing, then when you come over here to recording, custom mixer settings, this is where you can select to make your streaming and your recording video settings to be the same thing. You can do that. I choose not to. I want a little better quality whenever I do my recordings. And then for streaming, I want to make it a little bit of a better experience for my viewers. If you decide, now let's say you're streaming and your viewers want to see their names, they want to see themselves in the chat window. So let's go over to that. Oh, and as you can see, because I switched settings over there, so make sure you change back so that, yeah. All right, that was a little faux pas there. What was I talking about? Okay, so let's say that you want your viewers to be able to have the chat experience. So you're going to come over here at the live chat, click on the little three things right there. Click on pop out chat, and you're going to get a browser, and you want to copy that information right there. And after you copy it, you can close it back up, come back over to OBS, click on the plus. Let's click on browser source, and you say my chat window. Now by default it's going to show OBS because that's what they've put in there. You're going to paste in that link, and then you can set these to whatever you want. Let's set it to about 600. I want to set it to a little, maybe about 500. Let's see, where is this? Yeah, okay. maybe about 500. Again, this is not the most user friendly, and yeah, I know that you can drag these, but it's not the same thing. Unfortunately, it's resizing what you effectively did in the properties window. Can I even size it down? Yeah, it's gonna. Let's see. Let's make the width maybe 500, or excuse me, 500. Okay, so let's just go ahead and stick with that. We'll size it up just a little bit, just to even it up, and there we go. And so now we're ready to live stream. Now we're not going to see anything at this point because I'm not live streaming, so it's going to be an empty chat window. But there you go. And let's say you're using this window, you know, you're not going to be live streaming. Click this little eyeball right here. That window goes away and it's not going to show up. All right, so now that we're set up for our gameplay, let's go ahead and go on over, and I'm going to turn the volume on so you're going to be able to hear it. I'm going to adjust this so it is not quite so loud. Okay. I'm going to come back over here to OBS. See this little gear icon here by mixer? I'm going to click on that. And this is where I can play with my mixer settings. Now, mic aux, that is what I'm using. This is this thing right here. I'm going to select monitor off. I'm going to click monitor and output. And if you go ahead and try that, what you're going to do, you're going to hear yourself in your ears. Testing, 1, 2, testing. Okay. Right down here, and you can have this window open at the same time, but while you have that and you're able to hear yourself in your headphones, you can adjust this. And you can be able to hear in your headphones how loud it is. Maybe you can also turn this down just a little bit. And also playing through the headphones, I've just realized that you can hear my son in the background on his keyboard. I apologize, Fun Buddy is over there gaming actually, so I apologize if you hear the keyboard in the background. It's okay. Alright, so now that you have your audio ready to go ahead, start recording. Go ahead, click that start recording button, and you can head on over and play your game. Alright, so congratulations, you just filmed your first gaming video with OBS, and now you want to upload it to YouTube. So let's go ahead and start that process. The first thing you want to do is you want to come over to youtube.com. You can either do youtube.com/upload, or you can just click on this little icon right up here, and this will take you to the upload screen. I strongly recommend setting it to private because we don't want people to see our video until we're completely done with it. So let's see, where did I put? So this is our video right here, I think. Yes. So we're going to take that, we're going to drag and drop it in. So it's going to take its time, it's going to upload. Oh, actually no, it's not. It's a really short video. Alright, so I'm going to take a moment. My first video. We'll just go ahead. Now you're wondering, how did that, oh, I probably ought to show you that. I don't know if you noticed, but whenever you went to this and you uploaded the video, I had content already in my description window. So let me show you that really quick. I'm going to go over to this window over here. So I am in my Creator Studio. Again, click on the profile, click Creator Studio. I click on Channel and Upload Defaults. And from here, you can set up all these defaults. So when you go to the upload page, now if you're uploading from your phone or if you're uploading from other programs that are going to upload for you, this does not, it doesn't read this, unfortunately. The only time that this actually works is when you're uploading to youtube.com/upload. Then all your defaults will show up. Otherwise, it defaults to YouTube defaults. But if you are uploading to this page right here, directly to it in the browser on your desktop, then whatever you have here in these upload defaults, that's going to show up there. And it's extremely helpful. So I'm going to add it to a playlist. This is a gaming video. And now let's see, oh, custom thumbnail, so we'll come back to that. And you can also, if you want to play with the advanced settings, you can. Really the biggest thing you need to do is just change that to gaming. Alright, so you look down here and you see custom thumbnail. Now, again, some of you are going to be able to see that, some of you will not. I do believe you probably have to have an enabled account in order to be able to see that. If you don't see it, that's okay, because they give you a selection. You can choose one of these three. If, however, you do have custom thumbnail activated, then you're going to want to use that. Sorry, my words are twisting. So Canva.com, this is what I use for my thumbnails. Now, again, I'm not going to go through this. I'm just going to bang, bang, bang right through this. If you want a more in-depth tutorial, I can show you that later. But whenever I create, you have these when click on Create a Design. This is especially if you're new. You can click on YouTube Thumbnail. And if you don't see it up here at the top, you can scroll down and YouTube Thumbnail is down here somewhere. Yeah, see, it's right there, YouTube Thumbnail. So you come over here and you can click one of these. You can click any one of these. Let's see, we'll go with that one. And make sure you pay attention to ones that are free and ones that are not. Some are free, some are, fortunately, they're not expensive if you do decide to choose one. So that one is not free. So we'll go ahead, we'll go with this one. Or actually, I like this one. Oops, that one's not free. All right, so we're going to select this one. It's a nice free videos. We're going to call it My Awesome First Video. And you can play with, I'm not going to do it now, but let's see, maybe just to cut this short a little bit, you can play with all kinds of settings here. So you can play with colors. I feel free to just kind of hop around, take a look at this. You can play with colors, you can play with sizes. Let's say this is not the image that you want to use. You can come over here to search. Maybe you can type in gaming or something, depending on what you're talking about. If you're doing a blog, maybe you could find a nice landscape. There's several options to choose from. So let's say if we say landscape, let's say you're doing a nice vlog, you can take any of these and you can just drag it over and you can use them as long as they're free. You can also use what's called the snipping tool. Now I know Macintosh has a snipping tool that defaults to Macintosh. This is the one that defaults to Windows. I clicked on Start Here, clicked on Snip, Snipping Tool, and then it already sets it up for you. Click on New, and then you can just drag and copy that. And then if you want, you can save it to your screenshots folder. Yeah, I'll go ahead and replace. Not a big deal. Come back over to Canva. I'm going to open up the folder that I was just at. There's my image. Drag and drop. And it's going to take a little time to load. Once that green bar, once this is completely filled up, the green bar is gone, you can take that, drag and drop it over. There you have it. Right, download. Now it defaults to PNG. For YouTube, don't do a PNG. If I remember correctly, they actually refuse that. Use JPEG. And JPEG is a smaller file size anyways, and I think that's the reason why I don't use PNG. PNG saves as a larger file size. YouTube is picky, it only allows up to a certain file size. So JPEG, you're a little more guaranteed a file size that's gonna work. Alright, save your file. And there you have it. All right. And there you have it. All right, so let's head back over here. Custom thumbnail. You see I've already got some thumbnails in there. Click on my thumbnail, open, and there we have it. All right. All right, so let's see, I think so we've named our video, we've put something in the description. Now you don't have to put all this into the description. Just to go through and talk about real quick what I've got in here, you don't have to do all this. You can just leave it at that if you want to, and that is fine. Personally, I like to put a social media and a link to the artwork that I do. I also like to link to my family, different playlists. And, you know, and the fact of the matter is people may or may not even click on these. And, you know, that's fine. But once in a while you get someone who's curious. And then, of course, credits. Let's see, I'm not going to need all of that. And anyway, so you can delete, you can add, you can take away, whatever you want to do. And I think once you got that, you've got your name, you got your description. If you want to schedule it, you can do that. You can set it to public at this point if you wanted to. Set your playlist, and you can click done. Come over here back to your dashboard, click on videos. You will come to this screen. Click on edit. And from here, click on enhancements. And if you want to, you can click on this trim button. And this is really nice. Now this is absolute basic editing. It's like the most basic you can get. But if you know that there are going to be parts of your video that you're going to need to cut in and out, you can scrub it here. And so let's see. You use this and you can actually, if you want to, so you can adjust when it actually starts. You can also come over here and you can adjust when it ends. So play with that a little bit. But let's say there's in the middle somewhere, you know, you had a moment that you just need to cut out of the video. You can find that part in the video, click split. Now you have two different clips there. It's all the same video, but if you need to cut out a piece of your video, you can do that right there. All right. And of course, when you're done, you will need to scooch that over. So if I play that, what happens? I'm hoping that just skips right over it. Okay, so don't let that little red space right there scare you. So that just means that there's a section that's cut out of your video. However, it's going to skip right over that for you. So you're going to click on done. And you're going to click on, you can click on save as a new video if you want to, or you can just click save. So it's going to take that video that you just uploaded and it's going to create that. Now while that is in progress, something else that I strongly recommend is this end screen and annotations. This appears at the last, no more than the last 20 seconds of your video. So you do need to make sure your video is at least 25 seconds long. It does require, in order for you to use these end screens, you do need to have a video that's at least 25 seconds. You can only use up to 20 seconds with this end screen, so you can't cover your video with this for the whole thing. So this is really nice because you can add an icon to subscribe to your channel, and maybe you want to add a video. Choose a video or playlist. You know, I'm going to promote Sibling Rivalry, which is a video that Cody and Crystal recently did. And so we'll just put that right there. And so what'll happen is, here in the last few seconds, and there comes the blue bar, and there they are. Those will show up in the last 20 seconds. And it doesn't have to be the last. If you want to only have them the last 10 seconds, you can do that too. All right. And then you save. Okay. All right, so I know that this may have been kind of a long-winded explanation. To the young lady who requested this video, this was probably way more than what you asked for. Anyways, I hope this helps someone out. I know that this was long-winded, but I, just kind of figured if I'm going to talk about my process, I might as well just talk about the whole process from the perspective of someone who is absolutely new to YouTube. Now, this is not the exact process that I use. This is the process that I recommend for someone who is absolutely new to YouTube, they don't have a budget, they need absolutely free. This is a great way to start out. Now, if you want to see later on my process as I run through what I actually do, then I can do that later. Maybe, possibly, if I have time. But for someone who's just starting out at YouTube, I hope this helps. Everything, as far as I could tell, was 100% completely free. It's either already available on your laptop, or it's already available through YouTube, or it's just a simple download from a free, trustworthy website. Please let me know in the comments below if this helped you, or if you want more detail about something else. Otherwise, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I hope you have an awesome day. Bye-bye.